Hello, guys. Welcome. This is Sam. It's been a while. I'm gonna be talking about something really interesting that has been eating me up for some few weeks, to be honest. Because a few weeks ago, I saw a video of a 20-year-old who was talking about how the people in his life are irrelevant because they don't have followers. And okay, it bothered me a bit because I was like, has this what is this world gone into? Like, what exactly is happening in this world? Do we need, is our relevance only based on who likes your videos, or who follows you? And maybe, I don't know, because to be honest, I've never had an individual person coming out on live television or anything and saying that I don't talk to my family because they are irrelevant, they don't have followers, either if they get rich or what. Because when a person becomes famous, they cut people off. And I was like, okay, maybe it's an immature mind that is speaking. The kid is 20 years old, and maybe just by growth he will understand the importance of having people who loves you around you, family members, people who always be by your side, and maybe understand the fact that people, you are not based on followers to find relevance in the world. Because people get to maybe don't really know how to actually use this word of relevance, exactly what it means, how far you can go, and exactly what happens when you are a person, and what gauges your relevance. Because we live in a fast-paced world where people expect you to be now in this 2024 2020 years, have followers to find relevancy. Some people in the past expected you maybe to have those high paying jobs for you to find relevance in the world. Or maybe where we're back in the past, where maybe if you had many cattle, you'll be considered as relevant among the people all over the world, you'll be considered rich. In fact, we are in a world where if you are rich, that's the only time you get relevance, that's where you get people's attention. And I feel like that takes away from what God meant for us to be actually. Because relevance is never meant to be found over what you have or what you have worked for. Relevance is just it. Because you are alive, because you have an identity, because you are a person, you are meant to be relevant. And I always wonder, how can you identify relevance? After this week, I've always been wondering, how can you identify if you're relevant to a person? Because now I'm looking at this angle. I'm speaking to somebody who maybe is questioning themselves, or like we're questioning their purpose on this earth, the reason why they are alive, the reason why they're in this world. You might want to ask yourself this question: okay, why am I relevant? Why am I on this earth? What exactly do I offer which gives an element of relevance to the rest of the world? Why should people see me different from the rest of the world? And I come with this. I say to the people like this: everyone always has the value that they offer to somebody. And somehow God made it possible that for me to become a being, to become a person of relevancy, it's all about what I'm able to offer another individual so that they can feel the purpose of relevance. Because you find yourself that there are people on this earth who have survived so many years, who thought of giving up. And sometimes the fact that you're alive, sometimes because you give pure total joy to their faces, or make them laugh, or make them excited, is one of the reasons why they still hold on and still live in this earth. Because I don't want to lie to you, this is a challenging world we live in, and there's so many people find the question why they are on this earth almost on a daily basis. And sometimes God uses you, an individual who maybe don't know how important you are, to be the person that gives life each and every day to another person to live. I'm not only saying to one person. There are so many people who So, but without people knowing, every single time they offer something amazing. Sometimes I remember, I hear this a lot from parents who, or okay, from parents after maybe the birth of their child, or maybe after maybe 1 or 2 years. Oh, I always see it on YouTube, or maybe it's written somewhere, and they always say something like this. They always say that my purpose, or what gives me a reason to be, talking about their child, talking about a newborn, an infant growing up, the purpose of raising a young child sometimes gives purpose to some people in this world. And I just feel like relevance is found in different ways, and it's not supposed to be something that is only put into the success you have managed to acquire as a man, because we find ourselves in this world, which is a fast-paced world, where we now think that anything that ever matters in life, anything that ever takes us anywhere in life, it's only seen by what we offer. And I feel like that is really wrong, because you are alive, because God put you here, you offer so much relevance into what you do. Let me give you an interesting example. Will Smith, before the Will Smith he talked about in his book that his father used to abuse his mother, and in some point he could not find a way to help. Like the way this is what he was saying, he could not find a way to help his mother from the abuse that my father was offering. And because of that, he created something within himself through his creative mind to try and give a humor in terms of the family area, just to make sure that people are laughing, so that they never find themselves into arguing, talking about his mother and his father, because every single time an argument began, it always led into abuse, in terms of the father beating the mother or something like that. So I wonder that if you ever look at yourself at the point of Will Smith at that age, he had not become this amazing global persona we respect at this moment, we love. He was still Will Smith, just an individual. And he wanted to offer relevance in his family settings to stop the abuse from happening. And his angle was to try to make everyone around him laugh, become a comedian, trying to make them laugh. That was his purpose at that age or at that time. I'm not saying that what was happening with his father was, what his father was doing was okay. I'm saying that at that time, at that moment, his relevancy was to try and maybe put a spark into the dark cloud that was over his family, and that helped him as well as the people around him to protect them from the abuse which was happening, according to what he was saying. But that was him. Now fast forward to now, look what he has done to the world. Look how much he has been able to recreate this thing that he started as a young kid, this creative mind of his, what it has done, what he has been able to achieve, being one of the funniest men in the world, also being one of the most creative, best hardworking men in the world, because of how we found relevance in trying to take away the dark cloud which was around his family. So I advise this young kid, if I could get a chance to give him advice, I would advise him that you need to stop looking at the world in the crazy box which has been built, which is a social media world, where you find so many people following you. Because I'm telling you, of course there's money that you're gaining, the followers in this recent world and everything that happens, but it doesn't identify relevance. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that for relevance for a person, because he is alive, because you call that person your sister, because you call that person your mother, she is relevant, because if she wasn't, you wouldn't be on this earth. So the fact that he said that he doesn't even talk to his people because she's your mother, it doesn't matter how many followers they have. It doesn't matter how much money is in their bank account to identify as relevant, because if that was it, then we are in trouble. Can I tell you something funny? Rich people need poor people. It's very important for people to understand. Those people you see relevant on because they are rich, they are successful, they need the poor or the middle class people, because these are the people who are buying the products that they're selling. These are the same people who are there buying the product that they're selling. So if they cannot have these ones to buy, then they cannot be defined as successful. And if they're not successful in your weird ego world, you say they're not relevant. So it's very important for you as an individual to say that I have followers, and say that I have followers is because a relevant person decided to follow you. It's really, really important to understand. A relevant person decided to follow you. Because if you're saying that they're irrelevant because they don't have followers, oh, I have a story to tell you. Most of your followers are irrelevant because they don't have followers, but they're following you. So it's very important what you say on public settings. It's very important what you decide to do as a young man or a young woman at this age, especially in this DNA world where people find relevance with the amount of likes that they get on a picture or amount of reaction that they get on a post or something like that. It is a weird world. I'm still trying to adjust. I don't even know what's happening. But one thing that is very important is this. Relevance is what you make of everyone around you. Everyone who has worked either to smile with you or do anything with you have built what we call a character out of you. There's a thing that I always like to talk about. If you've really been watching Sam for such a time, you would see that there are things I always talk about, that we are writing a story, and every single individual we meet, they play what we call a chapter in our life. There are so many people that I used to know from my past life that now we don't really talk as much. There are so many people that I've met, and I've always discovered this, which is very interesting. In all those people that I've met, so many people who has meant so much, and some people that I've actually lost because they've, we have moved on to the next life. I've always noticed that at certain points, those people were very important to me into creating the character that is me right now. They were very important in modeling the personality that I am right now. And the fact that I'm no longer talking to them now as often as we used to, or the fact that there's so much in that is happening in our lives, it doesn't mean that the part that they played in their life doesn't even count for anything, because they made me. The chapter that they played, whatever they did to me by then, whatever I learned from them, they made me. So if you consider me as relevant, then they are relevant because they played a part in making the me you're looking at. And the funny part is the main characters of all these things that I'm talking about is the people that I still am with right now, which are my parents, my brother, families, my wife, the people that I have right now, my kids, everything. Hey, soon. But what I'm saying is this: it's important, very, very important, to always respect people around your life, because you will push the people who help you a lot in your life because you consider them as irrelevant because they don't have followers or they're not rich. Think about that. So thank you very much, guys, for watching. It's been a while. I really enjoy doing these videos. I've been really busy, If you know me, I think you know the other channel that I run, which is called the Football Connect. I'm always 100% on it. So it's not like I'm gone. It's just that there was so many things, but I always enjoy these types of talks. So I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section. What do you think, or what do you consider relevant, and what can be your advice to this young man who needs to find direction? To those people who don't know what am I talking about, I'm putting the video at the end of this video. Go listen to what this young kid said. It's crazy. It's really, really crazy. I don't even know what to say. So thank you very much for watching, guys. Like, subscribe. If you're watching there on TikTok, just follow. whatever you do, people, I'll be back again with another one. And I'm always there to brighten up your days, because it always makes me happy every single time when I drop something amazing, because you never know what's happening in this brain. But thank you very much for watching. I'm out. See you on another video. Peace. Subscribe.